Day 280. Day 280, eh? Blistering day. My daughter's 12th birthday. Yes, another birthday before you ask. So it's 11:30. I've only just got back to go to school. Wanted to take her off for some breakfast, but she had some from a dance presentation thingy. And then she's got dance tonight, so I should take her out something to eat tonight, that's for sure. Welcome to the channel, anyone that's new. As always, please like and subscribe and help me out with getting some subscribers. We managed to get 1 extra subscriber in 24 hours. Surely we can do better than that. Can we do better than that? What do you reckon? So we're at 509 today. We need to be at 1,000. We need another 490 subscribers minimum. So how do we go about doing that, guys? Let me know down below how we'll go about doing that. Okay, so what are we doing today? We got a mason in here doing the window door slopes. Stop the water going in. We got the boys up on the roof, both rebar guys doing the steels, and we got the carpenters doing the actual formwork. We got the labourer at the front actually just cutting out some of the slopes for the drainage. I think in here we've got Sherwin, I think he is. Hello Sherwin, how are you? Yeah, Sherwin's in there doing some stuff. I need to go and get into some compound. Go through compound like, I don't know, a toilet roll. Again, you can confirm we're going to caulk around here. So all the way around the outsides, where the gaps aren't that big, we're going to caulk that and paint that. So hopefully, I think this is ready to be painted actually. So I think we're pretty nearly ready to start getting all of this painted. But I think there is somewhere that it's got to compound things in the bathroom. So I'll get that compound for you later on. Alright, I did try earlier on, but I nipped it, I forgot more. Look. They wouldn't give it to me for free for some reason. Even though I spent 300-400 grand with them. Bloody hell, that's how these people. Yes, I'm going to take you down and show you in there in a second. One thing the guys did mention to me is that we have a couple of cracks in the plaster of the swimming pool. Not major because we're going to be plastering over with the diamond bright, but they're saying it's blown. So when you tap it, you can hear a difference. That means it needs to ideally come off. So that's a pain in the backside. So I'm going to investigate that a bit later on. Let's have a quick look down here at what the guys are doing. You can see up here the beams are now up there being built in place, like I said yesterday. And what they need to do today is get those beams on the side and connect them into this upright bar here and these corner bars that are going around. So that will then tie the whole building in all the way around. And then also drop it around here as well. So as you can see, there's some of the steels here, there's some of the cages. And the guys are over here cutting stuff and putting it together. So yeah, we still have a lot of work to do on the rebar side, that's for sure. And we don't have a great deal of time to do it. So fingers crossed these guys can work hard and fast. So in here, we now have pretty much a closed gap apart from that little piece there. We're nearly closed up. So they still want to run some more bits through. I'm still waiting for the jacks to become available. We need another 20 jacks in here. So like I said, we've got another piece coming through here, another piece coming through here, another piece coming through here. But we're going to need the jacks to hold them up. Oh, Tyson, look. Local lady turning up selling food. So these have been cut out here, so they're going to be knocked out. Same thing here, and the same thing here. So Smithy making more holes. Loves a hole, this boy. Loves it. As you're building blocks and doing plaster, he's just looking at, oh, I can't wait to smash that down. So this wall is where it needs to be at the moment. That wall over there has still got to come out by one more block. So that's another 16 inches we've got to add to that wall. So that needs to be done today, rather sharpish. Hopefully that line there is the centre line of the opening after the block's been added, which I don't think it is. No, it's not. Okay. Anyway, the block has been marked out, so that's where the block will end up being. So that needs to be the centre line of that after the block's been put on. So hopefully that is the case. But looking at it from here, I would say that it's not. That's the centre line of the current opening. So that's another thing we're going to have to change, I would have thought. If I'm wrong, I do apologise. But I'm not normally wrong, Tyson, am I?
Not putting food on here. Goodbye. Yeah,
so Tuesday, a week today, we're pouring. So these rebar boys have got a shed load of work to do.
Yeah.
So fingers crossed, they're on it. We also need to get Mel in as well to do the electrics. He's going to need to make sure all the trunking, all the cabling is run through. He's got it to here, these two, but obviously we now got to run it right across. So we need to get him in it this week. He prepped up in fact they buried it in there now, so we're going to have to look at that because there's a conduit in there with electrical sockets. We need to make sure we get that done before we pull that corner. And he's obviously put one over there as well, which is good. So he's got the conduits going up the wall here for there and the conduit going up the wall for there, but we do need more power here. One power on that wall is not enough. We do need more power. So I need to talk to him about that. So let's get him out sooner rather than later. There's a sink over there, so I assume we need to have some power there. We've got power on that corner, which is good. And then obviously he just needs to run the conduit through the ceiling for the lights. And also we'll need to run the power over for the garage door because it'll be an electric garage door. So anyway, as you can see, it's now starting to feel like a room, which is nice. I still need to work out what I'm going to do on the back of here as well. We were going to put doors in here, but bifold doors on this island are astronomically expensive. So we're going to need to think about what we do there. So do I get some wooden doors made? I'll probably get a set of wooden doors put in there for now, but obviously it just means there's going to be a bit more maintenance. And they're a little bit, I suppose, lower on the security front than a set of PVC doors. So anyway, I'll have a look at that. Conduit wise, it should be quite straightforward for Mel to put some more conduits down there, but then saying that I'm pretty sure we've now poured all of these. So if we want more power in there, I'm not sure we're going to get around to doing that. So I'll talk to him about that a bit later on. Other than that, there's a list of things obviously we need to do in the inside, which is still, it's getting shorter, getting smaller, which is good. We also talked very briefly, everybody, on the social media last night about the fire pit. Everyone's agreeing it'd be a great idea. But like I said, let me just show you guys a little bit more where the central point is. So, as you can see, the beach is quite big. Our boundary is that wall all the way along here to that wall, so we can only build something this side. But everyone seems to feel it would be absolutely cool to put it central. So central will be around about here, whereas I'm thinking about potentially putting it over here somewhere in this corner a little bit more out of the way. But yeah, let me know your thoughts, everybody. Everyone's sort of been commenting on it. Everyone thinks it's a great idea, but where should we put it? The other thing also that I was looking at as well is, do we allow this to land up being grass out here at some stage, or do we cut it back? And as you can see, it's all naturally growing now. Do we get that cut back and actually try and persevere with it being sand? Or do we let it sort of, or do we grass it and have this as a front garden? Bear in mind, this is quite a sandy sort of type area. Let me know what you think. The gardener I'm going to talk to when he comes back, as you can see, he's done down here now, and obviously he's going to grade this through, so I'll talk to him about what he thinks. And I've also found out how to start the actual seedlings from the casuarina trees, but there doesn't seem to be any nuts on the trees at all. So anyone tell me down below how I go about and when I go about getting the seeds. I assume it's a seasonal thing and I've missed the season, because there's no, I mean, you can see a couple of, apparently some are male, some are female. So this one is clearly female, because you can see on this part here, for instance, there is some, I think they call them nuts, and in the nuts there's about 20 seeds. But all of them seem to be empty, and there's quite a few on the floor. So I'm assuming that there's a certain season where they bloom and they can be taken off. So I want to try and plant a lot more casuarina trees around the back there. So yeah, anyone down there with green fingers that can give me a bit of advice about when and how, send me some messages below and let me know what you think. Everyone's talking about the steps being dark grey, so I think I'm going to get the stain out today. I'm going to stain those dark grey and see what happens. Once they're stained, there's nothing I can do. However, I can paint them a different colour. So the only problem with the stain is that once they're stained, it's done. But I do believe that it would be better if they were stained and coloured rather than being left on their own. And I'm also going to get this done in a dark grey trial plastic as well. So I've got a nip to Harris Paints later. Apparently they can actually do a bespoke colour for you. So I think I'm actually going to request that and do a dark grey and see what it looks like. That will give it the waterproofness that it needs. It will give it the the look that we're looking for, and it'll also, I think, set. We've got a lot of grey, a lot of light grey and concrete. I think it will also help bring it to life a little bit more. And I've also had confirmation today that the windows in the UK for this bloody thing finally been picked up. Thank God. So they've been picked up. We're hoping to try and get them on the ship for tomorrow, but I think we might miss that. So I think they sail every 2 weeks. That means it'll be another 2 weeks before they can actually leave. But fingers crossed, we might have even have made it in time. But we shall see. Other than that, anything else anyone wants to ask, please throw away. As I said, like and subscribe for me. Comment away. Any new subscribers, jump on. Let's try and get this 509 to the 600s. And I will check in a little bit later on as and when the day goes. Okay, and apparently we've just had light and power turn up to connect us to the mains. Woohoo! So we're currently on temporary mains, which means a lot of the stuff we have in the house is on low power. So they're here apparently now to connect up our massive great cable into the house, which means to get some proper ampage, which is awesome. So here they are, the little fire trucks here. They are light and power. So as you can see at the moment, we've got this little thin cable coming down here. This is the temporaries, and that goes into this unit here. As you can see, the little temporaries cable coming through the back. Just about here, look. And at the moment, the whole house is then connected up to that temporaries, whereas we have a monster cable, which is around here coiled up, look. And they're about to carry that up the lamppost and connect us up. So let me update and I'll come back to you. Okay, so they've got this little puppy. They've got this bloody great cable, and it's going to be taken up here. So one thing that you can actually see in Barbados, by the way, is what current you actually have. So at the moment, you can see we have one cable at the top. That's single phase, which means that you are restricted on the power and the consumption of the house. If you have, they call it commercial, but if you have 3 phase, it's like a T-junction lamppost with 3 cables going across the top. So unfortunately, we don't have 3 phase here. We only have single phase, and the nearest place that they have single phase is up the end of this road, hang a right, hang a left, and it's about 2 roads up. It works out 20 lampposts, as we call them, or wooden posts, from here, and they quote roughly 2,000 to 3,000 per post. So to get 3 phase electric down here, I would have to pay between 40 and 60,000 Bayesian. I'd only get some of that money back if other people in the area said they wanted 3 phase connected. So if he connected, then I'd get a bit back, etc. So at the moment we've got 1 street lamp there. We've got nothing on this one. We've got nothing on this side of the road. The nearest street lamp is there. So at the moment I'm also inquiring about whether we can get another street lamp put here. Now they said worst case scenario we can have it put in, and I pay 250 a month. But I'm sort of saying, well look, it is now residential, there are people moving in, there's land up for sale, there should be more street lamps down here. So yeah, so at the moment we have no 3 phase, that's for sure. And don't let this confuse you, these 3 cables here, that's not phase. The phase is actually what comes in from the top, and obviously then the pole is fed from above. So at the moment we're single phase, and to get 3 phase it's 40 to 60,000. Over here, as you can see, single phase. Right over the back, 5 roads along, they've got 3 phase, and they've got 3 phase up the road. But it's normally only if there's going to be a high demand in the area, or there's going to be a hotel or some form of commercial dwelling going in, which we don't have. So anyway, he is now bringing that dirty great cable up there, and trust me, they're so heavy. I don't know what core it is. I mean, I would say it's got to be probably 3 inch, maybe 2 inch, but it's pure, so it's so heavy. So yeah, I'm not too sure what they'll do. They'll probably take the whole thing up and over, and then attach it as it goes up, and then connect when they're up there. Years ago, apparently they used to get stolen, so it was like a race to get it connected before someone come along and snipped it and run off with it. But anyway, get out this wind, I'm sure it's actually making a hell of a noise. See what he does. Rebar guys, getting the steel up. So you got some 3/4 inch stuff here. Was that inch? Yeah, that's 3/4 inch, I think. Some big old steels. So he's tacking the actual cable up so the weight is taken. And I'm assuming they then got to pull it tight in order to have that obviously strap down the post itself. It's a big old cable there. But of all the actual service providers on the island, Light and Power have definitely been the best. They're very receptive, they're very responsive. Again, I've not had to go down there at all. I mean, everyone's very shocked that I've not had to go down there. But yeah, taking certificates in and installation certificates and approvals. I've done it all by email. The ladies on the other end, Charlene, special shout out to Charlene. Special shout out to Hetty. Both of them have been absolutely brilliant. Charlene, go back 3, 4, 5 months ago when we were still in lockdown. She was emailing me at 8, 9, 10 at night. So Light and Power, you should look after Charlene and Hetty. They're good people. But yeah, everything they said they're going to do, they just get done. They're very, very good at what they do. And of all the providers, they've been the quickest, and they tend to do what they say they're going to do. So I'm not saying everyone else is not great, but as you know, sometimes you have to chase a lot of people. You haven't really had to do that with these guys. They've been very good, but I have heard that Light and Power are private. And I know there's sometimes a slight difference between an owned organisation, i.e. something government owned, versus private, i.e. money making. But yeah, so it'd be bloody good to have the energy put back into the building it needs to have, because obviously things like the water pump, we'd not be able to turn the water pump on because the water pump is going to take a certain horsepower from the system and the system won't cope with it. The water heater downstairs, we're not allowed to have the hot water heater on, say that fast with a plum in your mouth, because again it draws too much amps, so it just trips. So we actually be able to start putting some of the systems in and connecting them up and getting them running as they should be once the actual electric's in and connected. So it can't come soon enough. The other thing I'm going to get them to do as well is have a look at this strap here. This strap coming down here. One is just behind this wall, as you can see the 2 cables there, and it's loose in the floor. And 2, I'm going to ask them if they can try and move over a little bit so I can actually get the waste pipe they're going to take for the wall. I'm going to get that run down the wall, so I want to try and get a bit of movement on that. The downside is they may turn around and say that has to be on your plot, so it'll have to run very close down the wall. We'll see what they say. Anyway, I don't want to bore you too much. There's not a great deal going on, so I'll pause for now, and as and when more happens, I'll let you know. So the cable is now up there. He's attached it. He's lowered this. He's got a little crane thing. He's lowered the cable all the way down, attached it here, pulled it all the way up. So he's now got the cable a little bit straighter up the pole. He's now got it tipped over the top. As you can see it dangling here. I never assume, but I'm pretty sure he's got to take it right to the very top and he's got to connect it into where this little glass thing is here.
Bread out here.
Okay, so he's connecting up. So these little U-straps they put onto the cables, what they connect the cables to. I'm not sure if that's an earth, that bit, or... Is that top one an earth? Is that what it is?
Electrician, lucky I ate my oats this morning, boy. If I missed my oats this morning, this cable would have ended up on the ground, boy.
Do you remember? I didn't eat my oats this morning. This cable would have ended up on the floor.
You criminal?
Thank you very much, Sean.
Which one you
Brilliant. So apparently we've just been told the top one is not an earth, it's death. So if you touch it, you're going to die. So yeah, not earth. So obviously one at the very, very top has got no insulation shrouding on it, so you'd assume that it would be the earth, but apparently that's the one you're going to die if you touch. So that's the one they've connected up first. And as you can see, he's then got one on the very bottom that he's doing. And I'd assume, with there being three, i.e. two on the top, that another cable will go on the top one. But yeah, is that the earth? That one's death. Here we are, 10 to 1, all done. So, you got two cables connected one side, two cables connected this side, and then the other one is on the middle on this side. So, probably death, neutral, earth. That also means now that the temperature's been switched off and we've now got good wattage coming into the building. So we can now turn up the water pump that we haven't had switched on yet, the water heater that we haven't had switched on yet. So yeah, should be good, should be good. Okay, so we're 20 to 4. Let's go up on the roof and have a quick look at what the rebars have been doing. Rebar boys have obviously been, our guys have obviously chiselled out all of here, waiting to tap into this beam. And spin it around. So they've installed this beam so far, which goes right through here. So looking at the house itself, obviously we've got the downstairs WC, and this is the cage that sits on top. The whole roof will eventually be like this here, all the way along. So this is the first beam they built. So this is a 16-inch beam. It's got inch steel at the bottom and half-inch steel at the top. Is it half inch? No, 3/4 inch. The side beam is all half-inch by the looks of it. So again, it's a 2-foot beam all the way through. Maybe a bit higher than that, in fact. And then the beam going through the middle here, again, half-inch all the way through. And then there's an external beam that will have to go down here. They've not built yet. It will connect into this one. That one will run all the way down. All the way down to the very end, and then it will cut through this way. And this beam they're building now, which as you can see has got 3/4 inch, half-inch and 1 inch. That will go through the front piece here, and that will run all the way along and connect into the beam over here that we've opened back up again, that was initially put in quite some time ago. Now the other thing we need to do, as you can see the rust on here, we need to get the OSFlow on there. OSFlow is the green liquid you can spray onto steel that's been out in the salt too long. So as you can see, it's not bubbling yet, so it's okay. But we need to get the OSFlow on here to ensure that we prevent and stop the actual corrosion that's going on now. And we obviously got to tap into that as well. The electrical conduit's in here, so Mel and his guys are going to come out and carry on putting the electrical conduit all across here for the garage lighting, garage power, garage door, etc. Here's some 1-inch pipe, some 1-inch rebar. This is your 3/4 inch rebar, and this is your half-inch rebar. So this has already been concreted and it's got steel in it. As you can see, the steel's poking out the front here. There's one there, look, there's one there. But all of this is meant to tap into that, as we've got to do round here. So this is where they would literally tap into those there, look, for instance. all the way along the front, and then wire into here. So all of this that comes in wires into this cage. So all this has got to be rebarred. So the whole thing is going to be a separate piece tying into these two, and then this will be a separate piece tying into the front one and the two side ones, as well as tying into that. So lots of work to be done, 6 total days to do it, but ideally we need to be done and dusted by Saturday/Sunday so we can actually do some snagging. We've also got to make some smocks as well. As far as I'm aware, we haven't had a lot of smocks around. There's some smocks there, so we need more smocks to get this balanced properly. Not too sure if they're actually at that point yet or not, but anyway, this is where they are with the roof. The guys have obviously been focusing on doing the actual little slopes over there for the water, which is good. Yeah, so and they've made progress downstairs. So all the boarding is now down. We've got to make sure that any gaps like this are completely sealed, so we don't have any problems. They've got wood underneath that one to stop obviously the concrete pouring through. Again, some proudness things like here, so we need to get that screwed down. So yeah, it's just snagging list, going over that, making sure that's all good. Get the rest of the support wood through underneath. As I said, the 8x3s are going in next as well. So that's pretty much where we are. Okay, so we're at 20 to 5. We're all done for the evening. Nothing's changed since the last time I recorded. So rather than boring you to death, I'll leave you to it. But whilst I'm on, please like and subscribe. Help me try and get the actual message out there, and more information and more opinions on what we're doing and where we're going. We do need to obviously put some time and effort at some stage in the next week into this back garden element, which has been neglected since we initially dug it out. But other than that, the rest of it really is obviously sorting out the roof here, getting that poured, making sure we're on target to get that done, and then obviously getting the back wall over here sorted out and that mud put down where it needs to go so we can actually start the landscaping. But other than that, another day over on planet Earth, planet Barbados. Anything you want to ask, far away. Other than that, I'll check in and see you tomorrow.